Our next guest wrote the book, Finding Hidden Courage. She's a best-selling author, speaker, an artist, and a mentor to many. Her name is Liz Jamieson-Dunne. It's so great to have you on the Michael D. Show, Liz.
It's so great to be here, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for flying in from California. I've heard a lot about you. You've been touching a lot of lives, but there's a story that really motivated you to do this work of courage. What is behind this book?
Absolutely. It pulled at my heart and my soul. My daughter recently, 3 years ago, passed of cancer. And after death being at my door many times, I've lost 2 husbands. I've had many miscarriages. And now, when she passed, it was the final culmination of going deep and being so sad and feeling so alone that it put me on a very different course of finding out how I could get through it and where I could find my own courage to go on, because I was so despondent. I just thought, this is too much. I didn't sign on for all of this death. And as a result of going through my own journey, I learned from others, and that's what I wanted to do, and collect other stories of people that have gone through dark nights of the soul and help them tell others their journey and how they got through it.
It's a beautifully done coffee table book where you feature stories of authors. Who did you decide to feature in the book? Did you handpick the stories, or how did the book come about?
I was in a mastermind group, and many of the women, as well as actually 2 of the men, were also in the group, besides other people that I knew. And I was so taken with their stories of courage and what they went through. I thought, how could one person endure so many things? So one was a dear friend, and she actually had a daughter that committed suicide. She went through a divorce and bankruptcy within the course of 1 year.
Oh,
and
my
I
goodness.
thought, wow, triply, how could she really go through that? And another was a prisoner in Saudi Arabia with her daughter after she was an American and went there with her husband and literally was held a prisoner. So these stories of courage were so amazing to me that I wanted to capture them. And Brene Brown has a quote that I love that really captures the book. One day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through, and it will become someone else's survival guide. And I thought that was the essence of Finding Hidden Courage. Plus, there was something else that the 11 souls that I interviewed and wrote about, I took them through an art expression exercise where we meditated.
Yeah, tell us about that.
And we went deeper, because the unconscious is the storehouse for so many of our experiences. And it's really hard to tap into that many times. So I find that meditation was an entryway into their psyche, where then we played with, literally, watercolors and other art materials. And it helped them in a very cathartic way even process more of their grief and their pain.
Wow.
And their stories and their art is in the book along with mine, because what I did was captured the first thing as a symbolic piece of art that captured their journey. Then they did their art, and then I went back and did a gestalt of it.
Well, it's beautifully done, beautifully illustrated, full color. There's stories of healing. But you do this healing work with people globally via Zoom, and it's not just in the book, but it's something you offer people on an ongoing basis.
Yes, I do, via my website, as well as workshops that I do for not only one-on-one mentorship and guides, but also the art expression workshop. And in fact, I'm going to be speaking at Johns Hopkins because my niece was a physician there. Before she died with cancer, and I want to talk to the survivors. She set up an endowment, and any of the proceeds from the book as well as from my website are going to go to that endowment for below the belt cancers for women.
Oh, that's beautiful. Good work, Liz. And what is your website for people watching?
FindingHiddenCourage.com, and that's where you can find me. And I hope that you check it out, because I would love to be with you, talk with you, and do some workshops with you.
Well, it's very exciting. What is the one thing that you like to leave with your listeners? I know you do a lot of podcast interviews. Congratulations for the book going #1 on Amazon this week. And then what's some of the takeaways you get, and what's some of the main points you drive home with people?
I think that all of us have that courage within us. Sometimes it's not as readily available as we think it is, but it is there. And the trauma or anything that someone's going through is temporary. It's not a life sentence. And through various steps, as outlined in the book, of how people actually found the tools to get through their pain, I think will help others, because it's within all of us. We all have that courage. And you don't have to go through a really tough, dark night of the soul. It could be finding a new job. It could be ending a relationship, finding a new relationship. We need that courage to get through that.
Well, you've shown the world a lot of courage, and it's called Finding. Give the website again.
FindingHiddenCourage.com.
Thank you, Liz. We want to have you back, and congratulations on all the great work you're doing.
Thank you, Michael.